Welcome to Mission Microgreen Farms YouTube channel. In this episode, I wanted to go over things that you possibly would need to get started in the microgreens business. First and foremost, you need to check with your agriculture department in your state or in your city to see what the requirements are to make sure that you don't have to have any kind of permitting or any kind of things like that that you would need to get before you could actually start your business. Those things can get quite pricey. Here in the state of Florida, we don't have to have anything, honestly, to even sell at a farmer's market. I myself actually have my LLC, I have a nursery license, and then I also have small business insurance as well. So before we get started talking about other things with the microgreens business, I highly recommend to y'all to make sure you know how to grow the microgreens. You really need to practice on how to do that and while you're getting the process started in starting your own business. It's really important that y'all know how to grow them because that's what you're selling. So I think that's super important, and I can't emphasize that enough. So once you check into your agriculture's department to see what all your requirements are for your state, you next then want to probably start applying for your LLC. You want to get your licensing for that. You can apply for an EIN number on just rs.gov, get your EIN number and be able to apply for your LLC that way. So you definitely also as well need to think about what you want to name your business, so that way when applying for your EIN you can place that on your business licensing as well. Before I actually applied for my EIN number and all of that, I reached out to a company called Fiverr. It's an app. It's a great app. I actually got my the name of my business created on there, my logo created on there, my website created on there. It's been very helpful having that because I just needed the extra help to be able to come up with those ideas. So I reached out. You can look on Fiverr. You're able to view so many people's work with the category that you're wanting to be able to look up. For the first thing that I did though is I wanted to come up with a name for the company, and then I also got them to check. They can run a check on to see about Instagram handles, Facebook handles. They can also run TikTok handles, any kind of social media handles to make sure nobody else is using that and let you know what you can use. Also, in addition to being able to name your domain, which would be your .com. So I was able to do that. That's one of the first things that I did. And then I applied for my LLC because I wanted to be able to know that my name of my company was good and that nobody else had it. So after I did that, I was able to get back on Fiverr and reach out to somebody about creating my design, because then I knew the name of my company, and then I was able to create my design, my logo for my company. And then so my next step after that was creating my website. So of course, when you're creating your website, you want to make sure that you already have grows that you've taken pictures of. So that's again why I recommend that you want to be able to start growing before you actually start your business, and knowing how to grow and being able to take pictures of that. So that way you can upload those pictures to your website. So I've got those major things, talking about those out of the way. Those are a lot of questions that people ask, like about licensing. You would have to check with your agriculture department to see what your licensing is like and the permits that you're going to have. Every state is different, so I can't tell you exactly what you're going to have, but that kind of gives you a range of being able to find out what you need to find out. So after I've got my logo done, I've got my name done, I got all of my domains taken care of, I've got my .com taken care of, I set up my email address so that way people could email me if they had questions or, with ordering and stuff like that, everything can come on there if they had questions or with their ordering. So one of the next things I did after all of that was taken care of was set up with Square. Square is what I use to be able to take all my transactions. I can send people invoices through that as well. And I also have the Square Reader. That one is free. It just goes in the bottom of your phone and you're able to use that at your farmer's market. It's so helpful. I actually have the app downloaded on my iPad as well, because I can, if my phone goes dead for any reason, I can switch over to my iPad and enter those in manually. But it's great to be able to send invoices through as well, and it just goes directly, it gets directly all deposited in whatever your business account or a personal account, whatever you choose. So it's one of the next steps that you should take with your business. And the next thing after that, once you get those all set up and squared away, is really come up with a business plan for yourself. Where are you wanting to sell these microgreens at? I highly recommend starting at a farmer's market. That's where I started out. I am currently set up now at 2 different farmer's markets on the weekends. My next step was actually, I found wellness centers that I wanted to be able to put my microgreens in here locally. That has been a really great addition to my company. And then I started into restaurants, and then I have a specialty grocery store that I service to now as well. So eventually I would love to expand even more. And then I just now added, within the last month and a half, I've added edible flowers to my business, and that has been tremendous addition to my business as well. So those are things that you really want to think about when starting your business. To be able to get all that squared away and taken care of, get your game plan together, and then, look into those places that you're wanting to sell to. Some of your farmers markets might have a waiting list, so you definitely want to get in on those waiting lists. Another thing that you want to think about, doing a subscription for people in your area. I don't do it in my area because it's just not an area that would be a good setup for that. But if you're in a bigger city area, that might be a good setup for you. So those are some things that I definitely would highly recommend that you think of when you're starting your business. Is, again, checking with your agriculture department, getting your LLC set up, getting your EIN number, coming up with a business name, coming up with a logo. You're gonna have to come up with your website and what you want to look like, and definitely come up with a business plan. So I definitely just recommend all those things to be able to think about when you're getting started into the microgreens business. And if you will, and you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, please like and subscribe down below, and then click on that bell so that way you can be notified when new videos drop.